starting. Welcome to another Acid's Trap. Here with your host Acid. I'm gonna do this one by myself. I'm gonna just be ranting. Our co-host Toby J. Walker, Tobias J. Walker of Sunnyvale, California, Los Angeles, California, sunny side, Shirley, California. He's not here today, but it's okay. Show must go on. We will continue to do what we do. First things first, I'm very bored today. We have a schedule every Monday. We record an episode or two of the podcast. For some reason, Toby didn't show up today. The last message I got from him was he's going to take one of his friends to the medical marijuana shop. That was like 3 hours ago. The day's getting late, and I know he has prior engagements, so I don't think he's going to come today. Just fine. I wish I would have known earlier, so I could have went to Raging Waters, just down the street in San Dimas, California. I would have been to Raging Waters and beat the heat in a way. But it's fine. It don't matter. It's not the most important thing in the world. I'll go next week, sometime this week. Yeah. What was I gonna say? So today, instead of worrying if Toby's gonna show up or not, I'm just gonna talk about the projects that we're doing, what we've been making, what I've been up to. Mostly, I chose that motherfucker Toby to be some type of investing strategy. He's really good at poker, like really fucking good at poker, and he always tells me about his winnings, like his earnings. He always tells me like how he plays and like what he does, and like he bluffs people. Or I honestly, if I could be honest for a brief second, I don't really pay attention to that segment because I don't play poker, and like he uses terminologies that like I knew back then when I played poker with him, you know, back when we started playing poker. Like I kind of knew what they meant. Like years later, if not really keeping up with it, I forgot it, you know. So when he tells me stories about him doing this or whatever the fuck, I'm like, oh, dude, I kind of get what you're saying, but ultimately, I really don't. Until he says like the money he makes, the profit he made, and I'm like, whoa, an extra $300, extra $200, god damn, man, I had an extra $200, I'd go to the fucking strip club. I'd go to the fucking strip club if I had an extra $200 and get fucking happy time ending and shit. Damn. So I use Toby as an investment strategy. He doesn't mind. Thinks it's kind of cool. I give him extra $100. Whatever percentage of winnings he earns, I get the percentage. Like if he's up 100, then I get 25% of that. So I get $25 if he's up by 100. If he's up by 400, that's $100 for me. And it ultimately works out just fine because if I give him more money, he's going to have more money to play with, which means he's going to risk more, which means he's going to make more. And he's telling me he's playing a little bit more safe, a little bit more cautious because it's my money, but I really want him to just feel free. I farted, by the way. Yeah, feel free to just play however he desires. If anything, play more risky because it's my money, because I want the most return. And if the most returns means you have to play a riskier hand, a riskier card based on your percentage of success in your head, by your experience and your skill, take it, you know. Like I said, I want Me giving him money, the money I get back, that's stripper money. Because I don't want to go to the strip club with the money I make. Because that's just like, I'm trying to save to get a laptop so these podcasts could be edited finally. The audio will be a little bit more better. Um, the music production is just when I record the song, it would be a lot more clearer instead of everything being recorded on my phone and sounds like shit. Not very good product, good quality, not very good in general. So yeah, today just decided to do a solo podcast. Toby's not here. I was going to get my cousin from up north to interview him, ask him about his travels from the north. He's a fisherman, he's a gold miner, he's a construction worker. It's all that things. He's my cousin. He's also a pretty good rapper. He has a Cypress Hill flow that I think is pretty fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie. I showed him a beat or two. He really liked the beats I make, and he just flowed, and that got me to flow. And I don't know. I feel good vibes from it. It's just, I don't know. Like, this is a business. This is a business. People, shut the fuck up. Sorry. The audio quality was a little poor because a car drove by. Anyways, this is a business. At the end of the day, Acid's Trap is a business. At the end of the day, making music is a business. It's all in business. It's not fun. I mean, it is fun, but we're doing this for a purpose. We're doing this for value creation. And we want to trade the value that we create for the value that people give us, for our fans give us. We want to trade entertainment for, whatever our fans give us, donations, support from our community that wants to see us continue and prosper, like we want to see them prosper. So yeah, this is a business. This is fun business. It's not like a making shoes for pennies business. It's a business for entertainment purposes. Yeah, that's what the podcast is for. That's what our music production is for. And we want to do some reaction videos. We want to make our own skits. We just ultimately want to have a video production company. Video production, music production. I want a website where people could upload their content and share their creativeness in an environment where creativity is honored. Not like in YouTube, where creativity is just one side of the channel. It's just one part of the YouTube sphere. I want to create like a competitor for YouTube, for creatives. Anybody who's creative, animators who are creative, stand-up comedians who are creative, music producers, video producers, podcasts, anybody. Just really a haven for content creators. Some place they don't have to worry about, saying the right thing or saying the wrong thing. A place where cancel culture is basically free from cancel culture. Freedom of speech is honored completely, and we all make some money from it. We all make ad revenue. We all make sponsorships. The ads and the sponsors who believe in what we believe in, they will honor it and have a little economy going. That's basically a goal of ours here at Acid's Trap. To create as much as we possibly can. Because if we don't create, then not only are we just in a loop of non-progression, but we're going to be relying on others to create for us. And I believe we're smart enough to create. I think that's just the theme of today, creation. I think we're smart enough to create. I think we're creative enough. I think we have imagination. Maybe there's just certain skills that one must hone before you can create something comprehensive, before you can create something that people really value. So yeah, that's just the goal of ours. We want to create a website. Ultimately, buy a new laptop first so I could edit these podcasts a lot more clearly. We're gonna have 20-minute videos of our 2-hour segments, and we're gonna have 15-second video clips. We're just gonna be advertising a lot more, developing a marketing strategy that could extend our reach, and ultimately, it's nothing but positive vibes. Oh god damn! I hope those kids that playing next door doesn't come into the audio. I swear to God, I've been here all day. As soon as I start recording my podcast, these fucking kids next door just start having a fun old time at the beach, in the pool. God, I hope they drown. Just kidding, kids. Don't drown. Don't counsel me for saying kids should fucking drown in their home pool. It's only 6 feet, but them children are 4 feet. Like, they can't swim, they can't float. Only their little heads are sticking up all the water, and you know they're dead when their heads just fall down and they start floating eventually. Like a dead fish. Like a dead fish. Listen, dead children is not funny. Don't ever think dead children is funny. Don't ever think dead children is funny. They're not fucking funny! Unless they're an annoying kid that interrupts your podcast. Then, a slip and a fall and, oh, what? He's dead? What? That may be a little funny. But if it's like a whole, dramatic scene, then it's obviously not funny. I think that's the difference between comedy and drama. Comedy just happens while drama has context surrounding what happens. A famous example, that I say famous because I heard it from a Louis C.K. podcast, said they said drama is like you cut yourself, you're bleeding, you get ointment, you get a bandage, you stop the bleeding, you clean the cut, you put a bandage, and you just walk around with the bandage on. Comedy is you cut yourself and you die. You just die. Like, oh, I cut myself. Boom, drop dead. That's kind of funny because an absurd thing happened almost out of nowhere. It's almost at random. That's what makes it more absurd. Just like dying from getting a cut, like dropping dead out of nowhere. Like, that's absurd. Absurdity is comedy. Whoever hates comedy, whoever wants to cancel comedians, they're just really bad people to hang out with, honestly. Like, if you're very sensitive and you want to cancel people because what they say is not PC or whatever, not politically correct, I think those people are just the lamest people to hang out with. And to their group, they may be fun, but to others, they're just really lame. Like, what pisses me off is when somebody does an action that is fucked up. That's fucked up. When someone does an action that is wrong, that gets me upset. But if somebody says something that is wrong, well, I'm going to think of it like, is it funny? Is it absurd? Is it ridiculous? If it's absurd, ridiculous, it's going to be funny. I might laugh at it. Even if it's a serious thing. If it's a dramatic situation, I may not laugh. I'd be like, oh, God, are you serious? But if it's just ridiculous, if it's just retarded, I want to be like, that's funny. For example, I don't want to go to dead children. But the elementary school shootings, that wasn't funny. That was dramatic. That was very dramatic. Now, let's say not a school shooting, but if there was a bunch of banana peels on a school and all the kids like if let's say instead of shooting the school, the person who was pissed off just got a bunch of banana peels and just put the banana peels all in the front of the school doors and waited for a boring day of school. Everybody just wanted to run home. So when the bell rings, everybody starts running home and they start slipping on banana peels. The joke is they all slip on banana peels and they all land on their little necks. And simultaneously 15, 20 of them just it's like Yomaha Beach. It's just full of people running outside boats, just getting shot. It's full of people slipping on banana peels. And then there'll be that sad operatic music in the background. Well, one kid is just falling slow motion, and the teacher's no, don't do it. And the kid's oh, whoa, I'm falling. And all their necks just snap. That would be kind of funny. That would be considered dark humor, but I don't like to look at jokes by their skin tone. Call me, progressive. Call me a libtard, but or maybe that's not even liberal. Maybe the most liberal thing I could do is judge them by their skin tone, so I can know whether or not they are in a group of oppression or a group who is oppressed. And then from there, I could decide whether I give a shit or not, whether I care or not, whether I give a shit or not. If they are the oppressor group, I don't care if they just lost their granny to somebody in the oppressed group. They deserved it. I don't care if somebody who is in the oppressed group does something what is quote unquote wrong to someone that is in the oppressive group. As long as those who are oppressed aren't hurt, I am fine. It's a really weird way of thinking. There's some people who really think that way, and not only do they think that way, they think that thinking is not only right, but is also on the right side of history. So that's kind of interesting. People believe they're on the right side of history. How the fuck do you know what tomorrow is going to bring? What if everything you believe was wrong? What if all the fucking trans shit that you support caused a huge suicide rate? A huge, massive, generational suicide? Would you say you're on the right side of history now? Or are you going to go back to when you said you were on the right side of history and be oh shit, I was dead ass wrong? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like politics because politics isn't commodities like you buy at the store. Certain things that you want that the government to do, you really gotta be careful what you wish for, because you may get exactly what you want and you realize that it wasn't the right move, the right call. Actually, the other way was slightly a little bit better, because now people just can't afford shit. If I don't like a product I buy from Walmart, I go back to Walmart and return that shit. You can't return policy. You can't go back to the government store, go back to the big White House and be yo, I want to return this policy, please. Can you please enact that into law that this policy is returned and not law no more? They're gonna be no. So politics, I don't know. I kind of liked when I was a kid, because politics was boring and for old people, But now politics is everybody gets involved in it. Everybody's so passionate about it. I don't believe in passionate politics. I believe passionate politics is passionate politics is a little dangerous, because people have so much passion that they don't They don't think whether they're right or wrong because their passion blinds them. And what is right, what is wrong? Like, how do you know what is right, what is wrong? Like, let's say you have a lot of money and you worked really, really hard to get your money. Like this is how hard you worked. You were poor. You started off poor, and you saw the people around you and the environment that you were in, and you saw the choices people made, and you know that those choices wasn't going to lead them to a road of prosperity, but they did so anyway because everybody has freedom, everybody has the right to choose what they want. And some people wanted to make choices that will eventually lead them to a road of disillusion, no progress, no money. And they're fine with it. But they still complain because they're disillusioned, they made no progress, and they have no money. But they still keep making the same choices. And then they complain because they're disillusioned, they make no money, and they have no progress. Those are the people that vote. Those are the people that vote in masses. Those are the people that get passionate on their politics. When those who make wrong decisions, who make no progress, who don't take responsibility and is delusioned, and they all come together in a mass and they all vote, then you're going to have a country led by those who are disillusioned, those who make no progress, and those who have no money. And right now, our country, the only reason why I say our country is because I don't have, residency in other countries. I'm an American for the time being. And in America, everyone's disillusioned. Nobody knows what's real. No, the only few people make progress. A lot of people don't do shit to improve their own lives. A lot of people just stand still and just wait for the next day. Or they're disillusioned. So like they think they're doing the right thing. They think like what they're doing is positive because it's hard or it's sick or it's good enough, but they're disillusioned. They're not making progress, and it's leading them to a result with no money, and that's why they're pissed. So like let's say you grew up poor and you saw these people who are disillusioned, not making money and not making progress, and you wanted to do the exact opposite of what they did. You wanted to invest your time and efforts in a skill that was valuable, that you could sell. You could use your skill as a labor that would pay you more, or you could create a product that people will have value and you'll get paid for that. Or you could just entertain people and people will pay you because you entertain them so much. And you work at it, you work at it, and all of a sudden you get success because not only were you doing the right moves, you also had a positive mindset. You weren't disillusioned, you weren't angry because you didn't have money. It just came. It came to you. So back to the good and bad topic. How can you tell what's good and what's bad if you worked your life for something, and those who were disillusioned, mad because they didn't have money, because they didn't have the progress to get them to what they want? What if you have two different ideas of what's good and bad? What if to you what is good is to work hard, is to find a skill that you're good at and monetize on that skill the best way you can? If that's good to you, and what's bad to you is being disillusioned, having no progress, and being angry at the consistent results, what if people think that's good? What if people think their delusions are good? And your ideas of hard work, that's bad? You know what I mean? So good and bad is really nothing. Good and bad isn't 100%. Good and bad is based on perspective. Good and bad is based on how you live your life. Those who are disillusioned, who whatever, they get money from the government so they can continue living, so they can continue being disillusioned, so they could continue not making progress, so they can continue whatever. They get more and more from the government. And I think that's good, because the government should give them more because they owe them something. That's how they believe. That's how disillusioned they are. They believe the government owes them something. Well, they pay taxes, but the taxes go to them. But really, not all the taxes go to them. Just some of it. Really, most of their taxes goes to military contracts. Most of our taxes go to defend a Europe that talk shit about us, talk shit how we don't have health care. How can we have health care? How can we have health care if we protect them with all of our tax dollars? How can we have a single payer healthcare system that doesn't bankrupt us if we're protecting all their military? England doesn't have a strong military as Russia. Neither does Germany or France. Well, Germany probably never should have an army. Japan could have an army. We need allies that are strong. We don't need to babysit anybody. The time of babysitting is over. We need allies that are strong. It's not the 1980s anymore. China is powerful, Russia is powerful, and Iran are powerful, and both of them together, and they have probably a bunch of terrorist groups that fight alongside them. I wouldn't doubt if we have ours too. I don't know. The world became really crazy after Trump. I don't even think the world was crazy during Trump. I think people were just crazy. I think the media made people crazy. I'm looking back at Trump videos, and he was always calling CNN fake news. And the reason why he called CNN fake news was because CNN was owned by somebody who didn't like Trump. He was owned by somebody who had Hillary in the cards to win. Invested a lot of money, I believe, in Hillary. A lot of time in Hillary. And Hillary still lost. So it was just a 24/7 campaign attack against one of the presidents of the United States because the media corporations didn't like him, didn't love him. And it's interesting because CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, New York Times, they're all liberal outlets. They're all liberal outlets. They're all Democrat outlets. They're all liberal outlets. So a lot of people are going to listen to the voices and opinions of the Democratic Party. Fox News only has, Republicans only has Fox News. And Fox is only one television conglomerate. Why do they have so much choices for liberals, but not many choices for conservatives? Why are the conservatives and liberals so divided? After Trump saying fake news, not even liberals believe in the news. Conservatives still believe in conservatives because, like it or not, Fox News does make points. They do. They do make points. If a news outlet could be owned by a political party, what about certain science institutions? Can certain science institutions be reflected on a political party? After all, who funds studies? It's not scientists. Scientists don't have money. Scientists get the money from the funding they get for research. Who funds the research? whoever funds the research, let's say they wanted to find out a certain trait of psychology between men and women, and their results that we're aiming for was results that would have women on a beneficial side, benefiting women. The results benefited women more than it benefited men. Is it possible that they would be able to conduct a study for such a purpose, just so they could use that study in a political debate, even if it's disingenuous, the study, as long as the result's what they want? Like, let's say I wanted, a Subway sub, but let's say I wanted a Subway sub, but I wanted the bread toasted before you put even the chicken on it. They're gonna have to do that because I'm paying for it, instead of putting the chicken in with the bread and toasting it together. Now the analogy is basically meaning those who pay for a product expect a result that they paid for. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. It's very weird. Right now it's very weird. I'm pretty sure if you are a student of history, you probably could see what's to come. You probably know what's to come, or I don't know. All I know is I don't really trust mainstream media, trust news. I don't really care about political matters. I try not to be a part of anything political. It's just really annoying. Like, who cares? So apparently, the actress that played Sandy for Grease died. 43 years old. Rest in peace. I just saw that news right now and I was like, okay, that bitch died. Good. Nah, just kidding. R.I.P. Not a very well-known actress, only known for one role, but still, that role was iconic enough to make the news even during this time. John Travolta, I don't know how John Travolta feels about that. Maybe he doesn't give a shit. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he does care. Who knows? But the Democrats just passed a climate change tax package, putting Democrats on a cusp of a historic win. Look at that. Like, that's too much ass kissing right there. It's just like Democrats just passed something that we love and enjoy, and we're on the cusp of a historic win. It's just like, God. And you have this old ass dude with his thumbs up. It looks like he just ripped off a bunch of people. I don't know. I just don't care about politics or this country or anything no more. If the United States ever goes to war, I will not fight for the USA, because the USA does not represent the ideals I believe in anymore. They don't represent freedom. They represent safety. They don't represent speech. They represent correct speech. They don't represent thinking. They represent correct thinking. They don't even represent innovation. They represent equality. What the fuck is the Cold War? Like, the Cold War, it seems like we lost the Cold War already. Like, if the citizens are believing in ideals of the enemy, then it's probably fair to say that we lost the fucking Cold War. How we won the Cold War was with our media, was with our Hollywood movies, was with our innovation. That's what made us cool. Eastern Europe saw what we had, they saw what they had, and they were like, bruh. There are some people who probably enjoy the Soviet Union, though. I mean, there's people who enjoy the projects. You know what I mean? People are okay to live as a slave. Like, those who are enslaved don't mind being enslaved. It's only the very few who are enslaved that have free thinking that can't stand it. But most people who are enslaved, they don't mind it. Look at the African slavery during the 1800s. Harriet Tubman was trying to free a whole bunch of African slaves, but they, you know, they felt contempt of being a slave. They didn't know. It's not their fault. It's just that not knowing that there's anything better out there. It takes that incentive to do something, to want to do something that gets you freedom. That's why those who act are rich, and those who don't stay the same. That's what I was saying about disillusion, progress, and no money, lack of progress. I mean, you can't be mad at everyone if you're not moving yourself. If you're not trying to go to the Underground Railroad, you're not going to be free. You're not going north. You're going to stay the fucking same place. And some people are fine with staying the same place as long as they get their money from the government, which holds them in that same place. It's funny. Lincoln was the first Republican. So people are like, oh, so does that mean the Democrats were like, what? Like, there was always Democrats. It was the Democrat Party, and then it became the Republican Party, and then the Democrat Party. So the Democrats and the Republicans split right when the Civil War happened. Lincoln was a Republican, and the South were Democrats. The Democrats have always been about a powerful government. A government that controls your life for social reasons, for socialism. I like, no, listen, back in the day, if you were poor, you would rely on your family to like hold you down as you worked on yourself. I could attest that to myself. I didn't have social programs. I didn't have to be socialized. I had my family. I was able to basically get free housing under my family. They had to work, they had to do all of that, but I had free housing. Eventually, I started making money, a lot more money than anybody in my household. Now they're struggling, and I'm helping them out because we're family. So the answer isn't always socialized programs. Sometimes the answer is a good family dynamic. Sometimes the answer is a good nuclear family. And, people could say whatever they want about me. They could call me an incel. They could call me a woman hater. I love women, and I get bitches. So honestly, the term incel doesn't even make any sense to me. It sounds like a fucking Power Ranger thing. And women hating, like, I don't hate women. I just think feminism is a farce. A lot of people do, but a lot of people still defend it. So that's what I mean about the delusional. They're delusional. Some people think working on their body is better than working on their money. And I say, why are you gonna be a buff broke nigga? Like, why are you gonna be buff and broke? Like, you're gonna be buff and broke, driving a car that guzzles gas, and gas is getting more expensive. And the dude not as buff as you is driving a better car than you that takes less gas, saving more money. Like, what, because you're buff? So fuck what? I could be buff too. Anyone could be buff. It literally takes this much work. It takes an hour in the gym a day. Do that for a whole year, you'll be buff. You eat right, you eat the right protein, you'll be buff. Being physically fit isn't on the to-do list. Eating right is on the to-do list. You don't have to be fit. You don't have to go to the gym every day to eat right. You can eat less at fast food restaurants. You can eat more fruits. You can eat more vegetables. You could cook at home a little bit more. You could, instead of spending money on fast food, you could spend money on groceries. And you could, and if you're in the situation where, like, well, I don't have money for groceries, well, how the fuck are you eating? You're eating fast food? Let me tell you, like, if you save all the money you spend in a week on combos, let's say you get a combo, a burger and fries and a drink. Let's round that to like $9. $9, you're broke. So you go to McDonald's, but McDonald's isn't cheap anymore. McDonald's is like fucking 10, $15 for a fucking combo now. So let's say you get a small combo because you're really broke and you're really desperate. 5 small combos for 7 days. 9 times 7. That's like what? 63? $63. With $63, you could buy 2 pounds of chicken, maybe 2.5. 2 pounds of strawberries, grapes, milk, water. And if you have a little extra, seasonings, rice, bread. That could be $60. Shopped at the right environment. That right there, 2 pounds of chicken, strawberries, grapes, rice, and what did I say? Bread? Dude, that's milk. You probably substitute milk for peanut butter, so you could put that on the bread. Like, honestly, if you want to get fit, but you want to work on your money first, you don't want to go to the gym and shit, just do that. Like, listen, you eat the peanut butter sandwich in the morning with milk. Maybe you got the milk with the peanut butter. Maybe you're a little bit of a baller. Okay, whatever. You eat the peanut butter and the milk. That's your breakfast. You work. You come back. Your lunch is going to be strawberries or grapes. Maybe you put that in a blender with the milk, put some ice in it. Boom, you got a smoothie. You make 5 of those, you could probably sell 4 for $5. You make an extra $20 if you're a hustler. Who's gonna buy them? White bitches, that's who. What am I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the 2 pounds of chicken and rice, easy dinner. A week. You're saving money, you're saving your body, you're saving your cells, you're saving yourself. It's not a hard thing to do. It's really not. It's not a hard thing to be focused and to work on yourself and eat right. Get your money up, eat right, and then when you have more time on your hands than you do have to work, then you could go to the gym. Then you could be buff. Then you could be big. But if you work and you eat right, you're naturally just going to get stronger. You're naturally just going to get bigger just because you're not putting shit into your body. And the exercise you do, your body's going to use the proteins that you ate. And your body's going to use the vitamins that you eaten. Vitamins, all that shit's going to help your body grow. The way you fucking be. All of it's going to help your body grow, and you're just going to feel better about yourself. Trust me. I was eating out every day for an entire year. I was circular. I was fucking circular. The reason why I stopped is because I couldn't poop anymore. I couldn't take a shit. I couldn't use the restroom anymore. And, it was very uncomfortable when I had to work and I can't fucking shit and I'm working. You know what I mean? And then, like, all of a sudden I have to go to the restroom really bad and I'm driving. I have to deliver shit. So I have to deliver things really fast, drive on the freeway really fast, fucking risk getting into accidents just so I could hope that this McDonald's has a public fucking restroom. It was just annoying, and I felt it too. Like, I would eat something really good but really bad for me, and I'd feel it. You know, I'd feel it in my fucking stomach. I was like, oh, dude, this is gonna be stuck in me for a while, and just, oh, God, taking shits was just awful. I was sweating, you know, I'd be like panting. I'd be trying so hard, and then like I wouldn't even poop anything, just a little bit of shit, you know what I mean? And it's still stuck in you, you know, it's like stuck. That's just what I disliked about not eating right. So I just decided to eat a little bit more healthier because I just wanted to have healthier shits. And every time I have a healthy shit, bro, I thank the Lord. Let me tell you, I thank God Himself that I could take a shit hella clean, man, hella easy, relieving, you know, stress-free shit. Poop is good, man. Let me tell you, poop is good. Poop is good, man. Everybody gotta poop. And if you don't poop, you gotta watch out because that's gonna fuck you up, bro. The last thing you want is a fucking like little metal snake going up your asshole trying to figure out why you can't take a shit. Trust me. I've never had a snake go up my butt trying to figure out why I can't fucking poop. But the minute I do, that's the minute I realized I fucked up in life. Like the decisions I made were wrong decisions. You know what I mean? So listen, if you want to work out, work out. If you want to spend your time going to the gym, you want to spend 3 hours at the fucking gym every day and only spend 4 hours working your minimum wage job, $15 an hour, 4 hours, you only make $90. They take away like what, 12% of taxes from your fucking paycheck, so you only really made like $74 a day. As you're fine with that, it pays for your gym membership. You have a family. Go ahead, sure, do that shit. But don't think like those who want more for themselves are fucking wrong for wanting them. They're not wrong. People who want more for themselves, that's the reason why they fucking came to this fucking country. If you want the same thing as everybody else, Russia's over there, China's over there, Iran's over there. But if you want more for your fucking self, that's why people came to this fucking country. They wanted more for themselves. They wanted more for their fucking children that are going to end up taking Xanax and being fucking mentally depressed because there's just nothing to obtain. Everything's already here. What can I do? Like, how am I going to achieve my skills? Like, my father already achieved so much. How can I be better than that? I can't really, so I'm just going to enjoy life and be a fucking little prince. You know, I think it's rich kids that ruin the world because they're so soft, but they're born with high influences. They're born with an opinion that is able to be heard already because the fact that they're the child of somebody with importance. So all their stupid little ideas are going to be heard, and like stupid news media outlets are going to want views. So they're going to be like, oh, he does have a point, don't you think, people? Like, it's kind of stupid. And then there's some dumbass, gullible, naive people out there that's like, yeah, he does make a point. The little rich kid makes a fucking point. We should give more from what we work to people who have less. Yes. Yes, let's help those who have less, please. Let's please help those who have less. You have less than me, man? Oh, here you go. Here's everything I ever worked hard for. You can have it all. Yeah, now I have nothing. Yes, now I'm waiting somebody to give me everything they have. Oh, why isn't this such a great idea? Oh no, I have nothing against I have nothing against commies. No, just kidding. I have nothing against communists. So what's the difference between a commie and a Nazi? A Nazi started their war, but failed. A commie is still trying to start their war. It's going to keep trying to start now. Any minute. No? Well then, I guess there's no communist revolution yet. There was a fascist revolution back in the 40s. Say what you want about fascism. They get shit. They at least start the boat. They at least start the boat. I don't think fascism is a good idea for you stupid people out there to be like, oh, he hates communism, so he must be a fascist. Oh, well, black and white. We're living in a world in black and white. No, like I can't think both fascism, communism, and socialism is all stupid derivatives under the same fucking retard Karl Marx. You know, people be like, well, the Nazis killed communists. Yeah, because the Nazis had their revolution and the communists had their revolution. When two groups are fighting a revolution at the same time, they're going to fight each other because only one person can handle the revolution. And I think our co-host Toby is calling me. We'll be back from Acid Trap. All right, so good news. Good news, everybody. Turns out our co-host Toby is on his way. I don't really know what was the delay, but I'm sure it was something important. So we'll have another podcast with Toby here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be good. It's not just going to be me ranting about my ideas of a communist utopia. Not just kidding. What was I saying? So yeah, don't like fascism, don't like communism, socialism. It's all right. I mean, it's okay. Listen, people just have no moral grounds anymore. People are completely greedy. People are completely selfish, but they point the fingers at others and call them greedy and selfish. But to them, like, they take no responsibility for their own shit. So that's kind of why the world is fucked. Well, at least the Western world. Yeah, that's kind of why we're fucked. So socialism is kind of like the solution for a deterring society. Like socialism isn't even like the next step for society. Socialism is for a society that doesn't kill itself. You know, like so a society could keep going without people killing itself. It's actually the most. It's a solution for an immoral society because a society with morals wouldn't really need socialized programs because they would already like take care of each other via family and community. Because good morals lead to strong families and stronger communities. But if there's no morals, then there's weak family dynamics and weak communities. So you're gonna need a socialized program to alleviate people's financial burden so they don't fucking starve on the street. So that's why there's like EBTs and housing projects and whatever, just so the deterring morality of society doesn't destroy the people. There's some safety net. And my whole point is that's fine. Like, people are going to be immoral, whatever. Let them do whatever the fuck they want. God, people suck. But the reason why the United States doesn't have socialized programs is because we protect the entirety of the West. And we were supposed to get compensation for our protection of these countries, but they have not paid us in decades. I don't think some haven't even paid us one penny, and some of these countries are very successful, while we just keep paying the bill and our dollar loses value and our people like have to suffer through the inflation, through the higher taxes, and our people aren't the smartest in the world, and they totally leave out the military budget out of their minds when they ask for taxes, so they just raise more and more taxes. And pretty soon, you won't own anything. Yeah, pretty soon you won't own anything. And that sucks. But who knows, man? People say there's a lot of right-wing misinformation, but they assume that left-wing information is always clear and always right, when that's not the case. So I think lefties are just going to be running around in a circle of, you know, financial issues. I don't think leftists are ever going to get the utopia they envision. I think they're just going to keep getting misused. They're going to keep getting ripped off, and they're going to, die very confused. They're going to die very poor. They're probably not going to have children because they think children are evil or whatever. But they're gonna have a lot of socialized programs. Like, they're gonna have a house that the government gave them. That's not a big house. That's not a convenient house. It's whatever their place. It's not their choice. But at least they have a fucking shelter. You know, they won't have loved ones because they can't talk to another person without offending them. But at least they have a sex doll. Maybe at least they have like a little robot that sucks their dick, or has like a almost human like vagina. That sounds like actually a good replacement for a woman, to be honest. I'll take that. That's the only thing of the future I'm looking forward to, is vagina from a woman. Is vagina from a woman. Oh shit. Yes sir. Yes sir. um from a robotic woman, not from a real one, from a robotic one. So like I could just turn it off and turn it back on whenever I'm turned on. Right? 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 Just kidding. I love women still, sort of. Um, yeah, just the future is fucked. The future is fucked. The future is not fucked. I actually have very good hopes for the future. As long as I'm rich, I don't give a shit what happens in the future. As long as I'm able to, pack my bags and leave, and like, I have money, I have this, I have that. As long as I have resources, I don't give a shit what the fuck happens. Who cares? I kind of gave up on humanity during my broke days because uh, even when people say they care about you, you're still a nuisance. You're still a nuisance. The liberals that love homeless people so much, they don't really love homeless people. They just, they're sad that like they're on the streets and they don't have a house, and they want to blame somebody, so they blame Republicans, I guess. But they don't care for the homeless people. They don't give homeless people like the opportunities, the money. They don't give them shit. They don't help them. They're like, how is there homeless population in the most liberal city in the world? That doesn't make any fucking sense. If they were really liberals, if they were really socialists, if they gave a shit about morality and people, they would always be somebody in the homeless communities giving them shit, giving them opportunities, fucking showers, business, whatever. There would always be people helping out the homeless community if this was truly a liberal paradise, but it's not. People only say that they care about others, so they look like a good person in a community. It's no different from a religion. It's no different from, like, let's say, Salem witch trials. There was only one church in the whole community, and everybody went to that church and everybody worshiped that church, and you were a good person if you obeyed by God's law, right? It's the same thing, because they're going to prove to each other how good of a person they are, just so other people could be like, wow, he's such a person of God. Like, wow, he's such a person of progress. He's an ally. They're fucking crazy, and they call like right wingers crazy, which I'm not gonna lie, they could be crazy. I mean, no one's fucking perfect. No one's fucking perfect. But at least at least I know what country this is. At least I know that this is a free place. At least I know I could say whatever I want. I could think whatever I want. If you're offended, that's your fucking fault. That's your fault. That's your choice. That's your choice. That's your fault because that's your choice that you're offended. And if you say it's not your fault, it's no one's fault to be offended, I'm going to say it's your choice, therefore it's your fault. And if you can't say nothing after I say that, that's probably because what I said was fucking true. If you can't think of something to say after I say if it's your fault, it's your choice, it's probably fucking true that it's your fault. Therefore, it's your choice. Your choice created your fault. Your fault created your choice. You can't blame people for you, man, because nobody really cares about you to fuck up your life that way. Not even the closest people that you feel like really did fuck up your life. They didn't, because it was your choices that fucked up your life. It was how you reacted. It was how you dealt with the situation. Now, you can either be a pussy and be crying and be sad about it. Why me? Why me? ¿Por qué? Or you could be a fucking top G, own it, and be like, I learned from my mistakes. Time to be a better person. And you devour the world. That's the only way. You can either be sad and live a sad life. Maybe you'll find somebody that loves you, but they won't respect you because you haven't found that respect for yourself. Maybe they'll tolerate you for a couple years, for a year or two, maybe half a year, maybe 3 months. They'll tolerate you, but they'll leave you again because you didn't develop that respect for yourself. See, a woman can't respect a man that is a shell of a man, because a woman, especially a beautiful woman demands a man. Because she is fulfilling her obligation and being a beautiful woman, she desires a strong man. Even if she's hot and she's like, no, I don't. If she doesn't require a strong man, then she's a big ass shark trying to play with a little ass fish. And let me tell you, man, she'll be like, oh yes, I'm playing with this little fish. I love this little fish. I love playing with this little fish. But eventually, once she sees a shark, my nigga. When she a shark playing with you, be like, oh, why the fuck you playing with this little fish for? I'm a fucking shark. Don't you know I'm a shark, girl? Look at my fin. Look how big my fin is. Look at that. You don't even got a fucking fin. Come on, girl, shark. Fucking hang out with us. Hang out with us sharks. You think she's not gonna leave you for that shark? You think she's gonna love how fucking shell and weak and unrespected you are? Women don't go after men because they're hot, because they physically look hot. They go after men that they know are sure of themselves. Those guys that they look at, they're like, oh, they're physically hot. They're just more sure of themselves. Like a girl doesn't go to a guy who's hot, who has no confidence, and fucking gives him confidence, and fucking, well, unless she's a fucking weirdo. Now, don't get me wrong. There are weirdos out there. There are weirdos out there that fucking do the work for the man. There are weirdos out there that do the work for the man. And that's a relationship that won't succeed either, because how are you going to do the work for the man? If she's going to leave you or you're going to leave, it's not going to work. The only way a relationship could work is if the man is a dictator. Is if a man decides what you wear, decides who you're with, decides how you act, how you say shit, decides when you smile. If a man decides everything about your life, that woman will be extremely fucking happy. The most happiest she'll ever be, because she finally got that fucking man in her life. The reason why she'll be happy is because when she gets out of line, when she gets out of pocket, the dude is just gonna put her in her fucking place, and that's gonna make her wetter than the fucking Eiffel Tower when it rains. You feel me? Woman can't respect you if you don't respect yourself. And she will never love you. And if you're like a sissy little man bitch that wants a woman to love you, oh, I just want a woman to love me, you're gonna forever be crying. Because I didn't even respect that fucking example I did right now explaining who you are. It's true. Now I'm telling you this because I want to break you. Because when you break something, it either is destroyed or or becomes something greater. When you break an egg, it either becomes an omelet or it gets thrown in the fucking trash. Now, what are you going to be? Are you going to be trash or are you going to be a fucking omelet? Are you going to be something that's disposable or are you going to be something that bitches look at, that lick their lips and go, mmm? Because that's what an omelet is. An omelet satisfies hunger because it's fucking food. Are you going to be food or are you going to be fed? Choice is yours, and here at Acids Trap, we believe in the best possible outcomes for everyone. I don't think depression works. I don't think being sad works. I don't think regret works. I don't know anybody that made a lot of money being sad and having full of regrets. I know people who made money overcoming their sadness and overcoming what they regret to achieve greater, to achieve better, but quite frankly, I never met anybody sad that was worth a damn talking about. And if you're sad right now, then you got to figure out a way to not be sad. You got to make money. You got to work out. You got to eat right. Because those are the attributes that will attract high-valued women. You got to be a high-valued man. And if you're like, well, all these girls are hoes nowadays, you got to be a hoe maker. You got to be a hoe maker then. If what you want is happiness and forever after and whatever dumb shit, just know you got to be a hoe maker. You got to do the exact opposite of what you want to get what you want. Because that's how the world works. If you want to save the planet, you got to be the greediest motherfucker alive and take everything you want. So you can give resources to those who need it to save the planet. If you don't, then you're just a pissy little bitch that I don't respect. We got serious for a moment. I was just joking around. I was trying to find my flow, but I think I found it. I don't mind these solo podcasts, honestly. We were supposed to have one with Toby here. I don't even know what the fuck we talk about. We were supposed to jam out too. I don't even know what the fuck we're going to jam out about, but I do like this, though. I do like recording my speech, recording my ideas, recording my thoughts. This is live at Acids Trap. What is this? Video 17? Are we on Acids Trap 17 now? Is that what this is? I don't know, but we have 20. We're almost at 20 episodes. Hopefully on our 20th episode, it would be recorded on a laptop and could actually be published. I don't know if this one would be published or any of the ones we made in the past would be published, but I hope so because there is some interesting content in it. God damn it. Yeah, I don't know. Next Acid Trap's going to be with Toby, though. Toby J. Walker's joining us for the next Acid Trap. See you there. Live at Acid Trap.